Oil daily forecast, December 14th, FXEmpire.com. The light sweet crude daily chart in front of you, as you can see, had a nice spike during the session, but we have given back maybe not quite half of that gain, but close to it. As we have been saying lately, we feel that we're range bound, and being at the end of the year, we don't expect any massive moves. But it should be noted that the Iranian military today had held exercises that basically demonstrated their ability to close the Straits of Hormuz, which of course would be a massive interruption in the flow of oil. Of course, the main things that they didn't really kind of take into account was the fact the United States military would never allow that to happen in real life. So the market did a panic buy and it spiked. And as you can see, towards the end of the session, we are starting to give quite a bit of that back, about 40% of it already. This is one of those rallies that was probably more panic, more reaction, and less thinking, and really could be faded as it was the top. It reached the top of the current area that we consider top as far as resistance in this consolidation zone, and as such it failed there. So that just shows how even with panic the market can't get above that area. That just definitely suggests to us that we are going sideways for a while. Moves like this are to be faded. Quite frankly, the Iranians, like I said, are exercising. They're not actually trying to close it, and the fact that the United States certainly wouldn't allow that to happen, not to mention several of their neighbors. Plus, if the Iranians are not exporting oil, then what are they selling to the world? So really, in the end, they'd only be hurting themselves. There is plenty of oil in Canada. The United States can get it from them. And in fact, they do. They obviously don't buy it from the Iranians anyways. This would affect the Europeans more, who are already talking about sanctions on Iranian oil. So none of this makes any sense, and this does set up for a nice fade the panic move type of trade. Looking at Brent, it's the exact same scenario here without going into all that again. You can see that 112.50 and 105 have been our area. We spiked up to about, maybe 111 or so and gave back about half of that move. It just shows that spikes like this are to be sold, panic knee-jerk moves, because it has nothing to do with supply and demand. Even if the Iranians came off, oil is quite overpriced right now as far as based on the supply and demand, with the world economy slowing down in general. Even the Chinese are starting to slow down a bit. The demand for oil is going to go down, so it makes no sense for it to spike, unless, of course, the Iranians actually did this for real and then there was some threat of war. Realistically, though, this is just saber rattling, and this move will, of course, be recaptured by the market.